What is Major League Baseball considering to combat the spread of the coronavirus as we approach the start of the season?
Yeah, Laura, I think Major League Baseball feels like it has a little bit more time to make an informed decision for the circumstances to gain some clarity. They have a conference call scheduled with teams on Friday. We expect an update later today. All of that, of course, could be accelerated. At the team level, there's an anticipation that Major League Baseball soon will address these large crowd gatherings. And there are two options. They could potentially play regular season games in empty stadiums, or they could just postpone the start of the season.
Yeah, 13 spring training games on the schedule today. What are some of the underlying team concerns as they do consider this decision, Buster?
Yeah, and they're asking a lot of practical questions. There are questions of practicality. They got guidelines from Major League Baseball yesterday trying to define, for example, non-essential personnel. But Major League Baseball official or team officials are asking questions like, wait a second, we can try to keep the players safe when they're in the clubhouse, but then they go out into the communities at the end of every day. They talk to people, they live their lives, they come back into the clubhouse. Are they more at risk because they gather every day? We've heard every spring about a flu going through a clubhouse, players essentially taking on an illness and it affecting the whole traveling party. So at the team level, they're asking, is this a good thing to have these players gather together every day as they go through their work?
Jeff, MLB thus far seems intent on playing their games, but how does the recommendation from California impact that desire?
Well, Laura, teams had been preparing for this, and they have the Seattle Mariners to look at and say, okay, if we do have to do this, here is how it's going to go. A couple of weeks ago, MLB said to every team, you need to have a contingency plan in place in case your local, state, or the federal government comes down and says there are going to be no large gatherings in a particular place. The problem, of course, is that the Seattle Mariners and the San Diego Padres, two of the teams that may have to move their opening day, happen to share a spring training facility here in Arizona. So it becomes one of those scenarios where you have multiple teams that should theoretically be playing at the same building. Logistically, it is a nightmare. There are questions about whether fans are going to be at those games, or really, Laura, whether those games are going to be played at all at this point.
Yeah, look, 188 games left on the spring training schedule, including 13 spring training games today. What consideration has been given, Jeff, to canceling spring training games?
Well, Major League Baseball, as of yesterday afternoon, was full speed ahead. Not canceling spring training games, not holding spring training games without fans, planning on having opening day 2 weeks from today on March 26th. The calculus could change because of what happened with the NBA last night, because of the NCAA tournament being played in front of no fans, because so many other sports out there right now are locking things down, and baseball optically does not want to be the league that doesn't do enough early on. And beyond the optics, of course, there's the question of safety for the fans. When you have thousands upon thousands of people gathering, and you have this virus that sometimes doesn't show up for 2 weeks, all of a sudden in Phoenix, while right now it doesn't look like coronavirus has community spread, a couple weeks from now we could find out that it was spreading all over the place and that baseball was aiding and abetting that by having so many fans in one place at a time.